Hey everybody, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back to my channel where there's always room for more makeup. If you love makeup, please consider subscribing. So today, I really wanted to talk about my eyeshadow palettes. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the palette tag that was created by Allie Glines and Samantha March, two absolutely wonderful YouTubers I love to watch. And let's get started. First, starting with my newest palette. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Transition Palette, my newest baby, and I'm so glad I got her. I love her. I love it so much. I love the colors. The mattes blend so well. I created this look today with it. I'm filming a video that I hope to be up soon. Pretty exciting. Using her, and I couldn't recommend her enough. It's an all matte palette. It's marketed as an eyeshadow and face palette, and they perform beautifully on the face too. The shades do. If you have, because I love a sparkle look too, you know, a sparkly minute. If you've got sparkles in your collection that you like, glitters that you like to put on the eyes, this is an amazing addition to anybody's collection. New to makeup, old to makeup. I am so glad I bought her. Next is my oldest palette. This is the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette, and I will never get rid of her. I've had her for probably like 4 years. I remember driving to church in the morning because I didn't have time to get ready at my house. In the car, I would use her for my eyes, for my eyebrows, anything I could. My collection wasn't as big back then, and yeah, she's just, I love the shades in here, and I don't pull for it anymore. I don't use it anymore, but I will never get rid of it. My most expensive palette, I've talked about a couple times on my channel, the Mcgrath Mothership 5 palette. I didn't even purchase myself, but it's the most expensive palette in my collection. Oh, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I love it so much. These 4 shades in this corner, the Astral shades, her special formula, absolutely beautiful. This red is probably, yeah, my all-time favorite shadow in my collection, period. It's absolutely amazing for every day, for special occasions. If you want to treat yourself with one of the Mcgrath eyeshadow palettes, because it's amazing. The formula is amazing. Okay, next question is my most affordable palette, and that goes to my one little e.l.f. bite-size eyeshadow in Rose Water. I only purchased one of these little e.l.f. quads. I am not the hugest fan of it. I think Colourpop's formula is way better, and I mean, I know they're pretty cheap. I think they're $3 or $4, but I don't know. It's all right, but it is my most affordable. Next is my everyday palette, and that goes to my Going Coconuts palette from Colourpop. Oh my goodness. I could wear these colors every day. It's a mix of neutrals and warm tones, cool tones. This shade in the middle, the Super Shock shade, is just absolutely stunning. If I'm going to recommend one Colourpop palette, it would be Going Coconuts. If you love neutral colors, if you need to do your makeup for work every day, I highly recommend Going Coconuts. It's beautiful. I love it. My everyday palette. My most colorful palette goes to my Morphe James Charles mini palette. I didn't purchase the full size. I ended up purchasing the mini, and I'm really glad I purchased the mini because I never reach for this. I have colorful palettes that I like and prefer more, especially from Colourpop. I actually have a few of the 9-pan monochromatic palettes from Colourpop, the blue and the green and the yellow. Those were a present from my mother-in-law for Christmas, and I love them. If I want a blue look, I'd go for the Colourpop instead of this one. I never really reach for it anymore, but it is the most colorful palette. It has the most array of shades. The formula is not bad, and if it's the only one you have in your collection, I'm sure it would be great to use, but I just don't reach for it anymore. My next is my smallest palette, which again goes to the e.l.f. Bite Size Quad. It's got 4 shades. It's the smallest palette I have. Everyone else has 5 or more. My biggest eyeshadow palette goes to my Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. It has 35 shades, and this is the old formula. I believe they reformulated it. This one's pretty old, probably 4 or 5 years old. I used to use it all the time. It was my only palette for a long time, and I use this shade over here a lot. It's a beautiful shimmery color. Lots of the neutrals. These reds over here are really pretty on the eyes. It's a good palette. I don't reach for it anymore, but it's really good, and it's my biggest. It's bigger than my head. My best memory palette goes to my Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette. I purchased this for my wedding about a year ago. Big, beautiful mirror on it. And oh my gosh, I love this palette. I love the formula. I love how she has the same color in different finishes. I love that. I love the look, the style. I miss Tati. I wish she'd come back and film more videos, and I wish she'd come out with more palettes, because if she's going to do this same color thing with different finishes for everyone, oh my goodness, I want this in blue and red and green and yellow, and but I absolutely love these. These pressed glitters are so easy to use. I love using them. I'll pull from one of these pressed glitters with my Dominique Cosmetics Transition palette, and it's just gorgeous. I did check, and this is still available on the Tati Beauty website, and I would recommend it. I love it. And I used it for my wedding, and it makes me feel so special and remember my wedding and the colors that I used. Next is my palette Worth the Hype, and this goes to my Soft Glam Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. This palette is worth all the hype that it gets, and still gets. If I were to do a bride's makeup, it would be with this palette. I love the colors and the tones. This dark burgundy in the corner, absolutely beautiful. The shimmers pair so well with the mattes in here. It can just give you such a beautiful cohesive look. I love it. It's amazing, and I think it's definitely worth all the hype that it got and still gets. So my palette not worth the hype, I think I'm going to have to give to my Morphe James Charles palette. I spoke about this earlier. I don't reach for it anymore. I don't really hear people talk about it anymore. I think that it was a huge deal when it came out. Big rainbow palette. But I don't think it was worth the hype. I think that you can get better rainbow palettes from better brands with better formulations. It's good. It's not that bad. I really enjoy Morphe. I have a lot of their brushes, but this palette wasn't worth the hype for me, because the next question is my favorite palette from my favorite brand, and that goes to my Fade into Hue palette from Colourpop. Colourpop's my favorite brand, favorite eyeshadows. They have a lot of other amazing, their foundation and their brushes I love. This palette is another rainbow palette, and I would pull for this over my Morphe James Charles. Absolutely beautiful. I love the same kind of deal with the same color but with different finishes. I love looking at this palette. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, just how all the rainbow colors look. But it's my favorite palette from my favorite brand, Colourpop. Last is my most used palette, and this is the palette, the only palette that I have hit pan in a shadow in. That goes to my Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette, and I think it's still available in a vault on the ABH website, but it's limited edition, but if you can get your hands on it, oh my gosh, you should. I love this palette. When I was working, I'm a stay-at-home mom now. When I was working though, I use this every day, and I hit pan in this twig shade right here. I just love it. It's a really good neutral, cool crease color, and I would go in with Cyborg a lot as well, this silver. I love this palette, and it is definitely my most used, like I said, because I haven't hit pan in any other eyeshadows. But my most used palette. Get it if you can. All right, that is the eyeshadow palette tag. I love talking about palettes, and I don't have the hugest collection, but I have a pretty good size. There's still some others I didn't get to talk about today, but thank you so much. If you've made it to the end of the video, go ahead and hit the like button for me if you enjoy videos like this. And I want to tag you to tell me down in the comments what your favorite eyeshadow palette is. And if you're a YouTube creator, then do the tag. Let's get it rolling again. Thank you so much, and I love and appreciate you. Bye.